I don't want extraordinary means, and I don't want water and so forth after at a certain thing. What can I be more explicit than that? And as to when you were saying you should have someone that you trust do that, I have found by personal experience it's best not to have your mate or your children be the person to make the final decisions. That, I have a person who is a relative, but she's not quite as close as my own children, and I trust her, and I know that she knows what my wishes are, and I know that she will carry out my wishes regardless of what would be her wishes. But I was in a personal situation where I was called upon to make a decision for my husband, and it was in plain writing what he wanted, and yet they came to me in the middle of the night and said, we want to do this, which was against his wishes, and we need your permission. And I had a really difficult time with that because he was quite explicit that he didn't want this, and yet they're coming to me and saying, well, there's a 50% chance that he's going to be okay after having this and so forth. And I really didn't want to be put into that position. I really didn't think it was right either. But
okay, let's get on with it here, caller.
Well, my comment was make sure you get somebody who's not quite as close to the
Okay,
team.
thank you. What do you think of that?
She's absolutely right.
She's right, okay.
And the other question was, besides saying, I don't want water and stuff like that, are there other things that you should put in your healthcare thing for your end of life?
I absolutely would include information about ventilation or respiratory, mechanical respirations. I would include information about CPR, restarting your heart. I would include information about artificial nutrition as well as water or hydration. I would include information about whether you want to be hospitalized or not. I would include information about antibiotics, dialysis, and chemotherapy.
Okay, and also I would add a couple other things. A DNR takes care of the starting your heart up again. You can make sure they have a DNR.
Well, and actually these days there's a MOLST form.
Yeah.
MOLST is medical ordered life-sustaining treatments, and it takes it a step further than just DNR.
Oh yeah, yeah. Also another thing that's very handy to do, once you pick somebody, and I pick my children because I believe they know better than anybody what I want, and I tell them very simply, if I'm sick and I'm terminal, croak me. No nonsense.
Well, I always say give whoever your proxy is, and you don't have to be related to them.
Right.
But give them a copy of what you want or don't want.
Right. And,
write it down.
You can put it online now, actually, so that anybody can find it. And you give it to your doctor, your lawyer, your mother, your father, everybody in sight.
Yeah,
your
this
children,
is not
all
a secret. This is not a secret.
Right. That's right. And incidentally, I started to say, make sure you have a second person on there. Sometimes that person might not be around,
Well, or you might be together and in a traumatic
That's true.
event.
You never know. But whatever, make sure there's a backup on it, a second party. And make sure the first party is the one in charge unless unavailable. All right, now another thing I did want to,
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I just wanted you to know these things because they are pretty important.
Yes, they are. And what was the name of that thing that Ms. Seekins just mentioned that is instead of a DRI?
DNR thing, yeah, go ahead.
MOLST, okay. In July of 2008, a new law took effect across New York State called MOLST, M-O-L-S-T. Medical Orders for Life-Sustaining Treatments. What it does is allow you to decide what you want, what you don't want, and how much of it. Now you fill it out with your physician because your physician has to sign it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, also, along with your healthcare proxy caller, make certain you have a will in order. You can do it with or without a lawyer, but it's better to do it with a lawyer and have it properly filled in. Secondly, you must have a power of attorney. Sometimes when you what they call a durable power of attorney. Sometimes when you're knocked out, you're in a coma or whatever, nobody can deal with your stuff. Your checks can't be cashed, your house can't be moved, nothing can be done because they haven't got authority. Give them a power of attorney, somebody in your family you trust. And tell them not to use it just to take all your money when you go down to the Bahamas on your cruise.
who would I trust?
Who would
Let
I
me
trust?
see. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot. Cara, is that do you agree with that? Don't you?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. We don't invite 42 people to dinner without making plans, Reed.
Okay.
So why would we merrily slip along to the end of our life
Right.
without making plans?
And it's so simple to, people, I've heard people say, I'm not going to make out a will. I don't want to think about dying. Well, you better start thinking about it. You're 82 years old, you jerk.
Well, and my other thing is, someone will say, well, if I do this stuff, it's going to jinx me. I don't know, did it jinx you when you filed for Social Security?
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know.
And also, people feel that way about their graves. Some people will not put their name on it until they die. When you have it set up for your spouse or whoever you plant there, you might as well have your name put on. It's virtually free. It's going to cost you another $500 to have it put on later.
Yes, and it's much simpler for your loved ones to deal only with having the date put on afterwards.
That's right, and you
than
can
have
have
to
it done
deal with the whole thing.
$62. They'll come over and scratch the date on, big deal. In the meantime, I did one for my whole family. Everybody is on it. Everybody, 18 members of my family on it. My children, my spouse, my brothers, my sister, everybody's on it. And you just tuck a little, you're not allowed to do that legally, but you can do it anyway. There'll just be no record of you being buried there, excepting in the family Bible where we keep it. And you save a bundle, Again, if you say you turn your body over, they send it back to you in a little while.
2 weeks to 2 years.
And you get all the ashes and everything, you have the same fun later. In the meantime, plan your funeral. Tell them what you want. Pay for it in advance. Say there's no more money coming out for this funeral. I don't care if you drag out the 6 white horses. I just want a simple cremation.
It'll be free 6 white horses.
I told my funeral director, who will go unnamed, that incidentally, before I continue, join the Memorial Society. They are in Buffalo, is the closest one, but the branches all over the United States. Wherever you die, you go to a director. There's one in Jamestown who is a member of the society, and they will give you about half price for the same exact thing, because they're guaranteed, all the Memorial Society people. And as I said, simple cremation is $900 with him, but with the Memorial Society, so the local funeral director is going to charge $1,800, and the same as you move along. I want the simple cremation. I told my funeral director, look, I'm going to, I had a close relative about to croak, and I said, I'm going to drive her body over to the crematorium in Jamestown. It's run by Jesse, what's his name's son. Who was our senator? Jess.
President.
Jess, President's son runs it. I said, I'm just going to run her over there, and I got her in a cardboard box, and it's got to be the $80 box because it has handles on it. I put some handles on it with rope, and I'm going to slap it in and say, here, do the job. It's $85. It's not any $1,800. He said, you can't do that. I said, why not? He said, because only a funeral director has to be with you. You have to have a funeral director with you. I said, well, I got a doctor's certificate of death and everything. No, it's a state law. Well, those funeral directors, they've been paying off the Congress like everybody else, or the state Senate and the state assembly. Yeah. You couldn't even put you couldn't even get glasses, reading glasses. There are three sizes, big, little, and medium,
Right.
And they cost $2, between $2 and $4 in most drugstores. You couldn't buy one in New York State. They weren't allowed to sell you one. You had to go to an oculist, have a test and everything for the 3 different sizes, and he will determine it. $30 you paid for one from him. Who's got this New York State government by the you-know-what? Little round things, That's incredible. You couldn't even put that flea stuff on the back of your, in New York State, on the back of your cat or dog. In New York State, they couldn't sell it in the stores. You had to go to Erie to get it. And we were the last state that did that. Of all the crazy things you've ever heard of in your life, some people are paying off that Senate.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Cara Seeking's with us, and here I am doing all the talking, and because I have a lot to talk about. And we're living in a strange world. It's a wonderful world. It's a great world. And in Chautauqua County, you can't beat it. You can still go out and bag your own turkey.
Yes.
How can you beat that, And you can catch fish this long right in Lake Erie, the walleye pike. And they're longer over Chautauqua. The muscalonge. Baby muscalonges are anything under 40 inches.
Wow.
That's
a lot of fish.
You can't take a muskie under 40 inches because it's not grown up yet. Hey, caller, good morning. Hello there, caller. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to speak to the guest on your show.
Well, Cara Seekings is right here.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
in a near-death situation, or even otherwise,